If you hear silence at the end of the stream, please refresh this page.
So, October 17th at 5:04 p.m., 1989. I'm 8 years old, and I'm in the garage with my mom, and my dad's building a house 1 mile from the epicenter of the Loma Prieta earthquake. And I'm just sweeping the floor, and I'm probably whistling, thinking about being here at 40 years old with all of you amazing people, because I was a dreamer. One day I'll be on a hoverboard, and I'll hold a microphone, and people will listen when I talk. And all of a sudden, the house starts shaking. Now, you know me, I'm 8 years old, so I'm like, Dad, stop shaking the house. My mom hates earthquakes. She screams, run, run, grabs me by the collar, and she drags me out of the garage. And I look up at the house that I spent 15 years growing up in, and it's going from side to side. And my dad loves earthquakes. And he's saying, yee-haw! He's on a wild roller coaster ride for free. Now, it was interesting how he went from yee-hawing to ah over time. And that was a marking moment in my life where I looked at two kinds of responses when an earthquake happens. One is screaming and fear and running. And my mom is fantastic, and that's just a normal response that she has. And the other is leaning into it. Grab that house and go for a ride. And I think right now we are in an earthquake for humanity. You know, people want to talk about the new normal. There's really no new normal. The old way that we operated as sons and daughters, as parents, as CEOs, as employees, as contractors, it'll never really be the same. What once was is over. And here we are at the first physical gathering that all of us have been at. And everybody's going to look at us and be like, did anybody get sick? Did anybody die? Was it worth it? Were they really wearing masks? Did you all really have 8 feet of space between you? And you're going to deal with the earthquake of just questions. You're going to deal with the earthquake of like, okay, I forgot how to network. Like, how do I follow up with people again? It's been 15 months since I've done that. And how are you going to lean into the earthquake? You know, I wrote a big list of all of the speakers today. I will say this about Attention Live. If Attention Live is not successful, there'll be a competitor to our company, and they will be successful. So it will either be my team that's been with me for 10 or 15 years, or it will be somebody else that executes better than us. But the company that fulfills the vision that I'm trying to manifest will unlock trillions of dollars in the global economy because we figured out a way to create a communication tool that's as easy to turn on as a light switch, as easy to use as running water, even though it's as hard to understand as a microwave or a rocket ship. And most people can't even understand CryptoKitties or NFTs, let alone voices and interface, or being able to create all of this mass distribution, track everything, monetize all of it at scale in real time. We were so excited about our product that we finally launched in 2019 that we just started using it, and we realized, man, there's a lot of manual stuff, so we had to rebuild it. We rebuilt V2 and have just finished and launched that. You know, the world's becoming automated. And so there's not that many things that you can do in the future if you're a human. Maybe 5 years, maybe 55 years, but eventually we're going to either teach, we're going to learn, we're going to create, or we're going to promote. Those are all things that you can do with your voice. Those are all things you can do with your ears. And as the 3 billion people across the world that make less than $2.50 a day, as they get the internet and become part of the global productive society, because of the voice industry, they will be able to communicate with us in a way they have never fathomed before. And instead of us sitting down and watching Netflix with our undivided attention and undivided attention for YouTube, everybody will be passively just consuming content. And maybe we'll be interested in hearing people's war stories of their ancestors in that far-off jungle and tribe. Maybe we'll want to know how this group of people that we don't speak the same language, but they really rear children well, let their kids grow up respectful, honorable, productive members of society. And we want to be impacted by how they do that. I mean, I'm a visionary, right? And if you think like me riding around the one wheel or me doing the job of a handful of media people right here at my desk and taking notes about the things you're saying, if you think that's complicated, what we built at Attention Live is really, really special. Please go to attn.live. I've worked very hard to communicate what we're doing. And I say, hey, if you're trying to explain it to Grandma, it's kind of like radio and the flea market and the post office. It's live social audio with a marketplace to monetize that audio with mass distribution. Let me end by saying why you inspire me. I considered not even talking about Attention Live, but I felt it would be disrespectful to do so. But you can find out everything you want to know about our company on our website. And I hope that all of you and your network will become our clients. I hope that many of you will become strategic partners. Maybe some of you will become investors. Bradley, I am really proud of you, man, as a friend and as a peer. This is a very difficult thing to do. A lot of shades being thrown at you for doing this. Thank you for having the courage to do this. To Ed and Mr. Robinson, what you're doing in your cities, congratulations. That's amazing. There's cities in California that have a lot to learn from you. Cities in New York that have a lot to learn from you. On the coast, we're so haughty. We think so highly of ourselves. And yet here you are in the middle of the country, really showing how it's done. And I just think it's an honorable thing of what you guys are doing for your communities. It's not about being known. It's not about getting accolades or winning national awards or global recognition. Like when you say we have a gig internet for everybody, we have 10 gigs available for everybody, that's life transformative stuff. For Sanjay, he already left, but it's obviously amazing that him and his team went from a $4 billion market cap to a $25 billion market cap between the two companies. What an inspiration for us all. Daniela, you're super inspiring to me. I wish I could be a founder like you. I look at humans like you, and I think, wow, that's how things are done. And the way that you shared today, you seem to embody to me confidence and humility. And so thank you for that. And thank you for what you've done, building a team, employing hundreds of people, and providing something of real significance to the enterprise customers that you serve. Joseph, it was nice to spend time with you. I don't see you. Where are you at? There. Okay, there you are. It was nice to spend time with you yesterday. And it's really fun to see the way that over 25 years, as one of the founding members of your company, you've been faithful all that time with the moves and the different roles and now being the CEO and chairman, and for you to keep innovating, for you and your team to keep thinking about what's next, where do we go now, where do we go from here? And so I salute you. I hope that I have the faithfulness to do that and innovate in the same place decades from now. Jeff, you're one of the most inspiring people in my life. I've actually gotten emotional thinking about you before because it's really, really vulnerable to work in front of people. If you're an independent entrepreneur and you're working in front of people and you're documenting your career, going live 2 hours a day, the transparency, the authenticity, it's overwhelming what type of fears you've had to overcome. To do that at Amazon, I salute you, bro. Really. It's amazing. Julie, you embody so many wonderful things. And I'm so thankful that you're different than so many teachers that just retire. And knowing that your husband and you have 3 companies, knowing that you don't have to do anything. You don't have to grind. And your grind is like a dance to me. It just feels like you float through the voice industry. And you bring a lot of smiles to faces and to hearts. Don't stop what you're doing. For the VoiceSpark team, it's been great I lost them. I thought they were there. There they are. Okay, hiding. Nick, and I don't see AJ, but it's been fun to spend time with you guys. And it's always hard to come into an industry and be a content creator when you're not known. You're gonna face hurdles. Get over it. And for all of you that want to create content in any industry where you're not known, you don't get trust just because you want to help. You have to prove yourself. That's the way it works. And so be faithful as you are. Your 50 episodes, they're fun. They remind me of Joe Rogan 10 years ago. I like what you do, man. So don't stop what you're doing. And when you're established and when you're the big deal, don't put roadblocks in front of other people. You be the one to lay down your stage and let other people come on your stage like Bradley's done for you the last couple of days. Look at what he's done, not just giving you the stage, but giving you advice and counsel, and do that for other people. For Kaizen Technologies, again, super inspired by your team. I'm trying to find, there you are. And I start, I'm on a one wheel right now. My brain's doing a lot of things, and finding all of you out there is not that easy. Thanks for employing 240 people. Thanks for putting people to work, for taking care of families all over the world. Thanks for not staying in one little geographic location, but becoming a global company. And for the things that you're doing in this industry, our industry needs companies like yours, like Define Crowd, like Cerence, that's actually doing significant stuff for enterprise clients so that all of us can rise to that. We need you to be out there so that we can say, we can do that too. Thank you for being one of those lighthouses for us. Colin, I'm glad we're friends. I enjoy spending time with you. I think it's a really big deal that you left Voice Punch and decided to go to Speechly. I think I've been a little bit confused as to why Speechly was the place that you decided to go to. And when you say intuition, I'm like, that's cool. I'm all about intuition. But seeing your demo, we all want that. And every single e-commerce site that we visit, we want your technology to exist in those sites. So I really hope your team's successful. Because the reality is, I don't mind using 2 thumbs on a piece of glass. I don't mind using 10 fingers on a keyboard, but that is not how I want to communicate with technology the rest of my life. I want to talk to a machine. I want it to do what I ask it to do. And it seems to me like your company is really driving excellence in that area. So may you be successful in all that you and your team do. And Audrey, where'd you go? There you are. You're one of the first people I got to hug. And I'm so glad I did. I think that your sonic branding is like a hug to so many ears. It's hard what you do, because what you do, you have to keep selling new projects over and over and over, even to the same people and to new people. And you have to keep proving yourself over and over. And at one point, you were the one. And now, as you mentioned, there's so many options. But you're still the godmother of it all. And not because of what you've done, but you're still the queen because of what you're doing. And I don't know if you feel recognized at the level that you should be, but I really see you. And I see what you've done for huge companies and for my friends like Dr. Fisher. And just that alone, the impact that you've made for him, it's transformative for him to have all that eclectic different options when it comes to sound. If there's only one thing I could do today, it would be to say what I just said about all of you. Please consider what I use my time for. The world needs to be encouraged. People need courage put into their soul. They need to be seen. They need to be recognized. Do that for others. It's worth your time, even if it means you don't talk all about yourself and what you're doing. Bradley, thank you for letting me share today.